Hi guys, hi YouTube, how is everybody? I'm not doing so well today. It's Friday the 19th of January 2018 and we've had a terrible day today. We lost a really good friend yesterday who died very suddenly. And yeah, I guess I want to come on and tell you all about that. And I think I've been quite pensive and reflective about my YouTube journey, I guess. I started this YouTube over a year ago to talk about my weight loss surgery. And I think when you lose somebody like we've lost Julie, my friend, yesterday, I realised that actually in a short year, I've lost three really good people in my life. Mark Sayer from school died. Initially, I think shortly after I'd had surgery, I went to his funeral, and then my really good friend Jamie died in June, and now Julie died yesterday. So within that year, and it kind of makes you take stock of things a little bit, doesn't it? It makes you think to yourself, I'm 45 years old, and you imagine people a lot older than myself are going to go to more funerals than weddings, I guess. So yeah, I'm sorry today's not a really upbeat and cheery YouTube, but as I've always said, I do this for myself to be able to look back on and to be able to compare stuff. I'm sorry about the washing in that corner. My air is up. My husband in that corner. Give us a wave, Howie. Yeah, it's Friday evening. I've got my glass of wine. I'm raising it to Julie, who, like I said, passed away yesterday. I just kind of wanted to talk about her, really, and our friendship. I moved away to Asia with my husband in 2006-ish, I think. And we lived in India for a couple of years, and then we lived in Singapore for 3 years, and then we lived in China for 2 years. Now, in India, I volunteered at an orphanage for children that had HIV, and there were 49 children stuck on top of a hill. I could talk for hours about them. I'm still in touch with some of them, which I'm really blessed and grateful for. At Singapore, they don't have poor, right? Because they're a very wealthy country. And anyway, and then when I went to China, I sought out being able to volunteer at a foster home there. And Julie, my friend, was the manager of the foster home. She was part of a charity called Me Fam Mama that translate into Rice Mama, and they were collecting money from mainly expats around China and Shanghai and taking much needed rice, food and medical equipment to children all over China that were in orphanages. And just to give you a tiny bit of background, the reason there's a lot of children in orphanages in China there is because they have had the one-child policy. So if you were Chinese and you were only allowed to have one child due to the government, you would have a baby and maybe it had, let's say like Tom, for instance, was born without eyes. He would then be disregarded and put in an orphanage or left somewhere, hopefully where somebody would pick him up and he would survive. They would pretend they didn't have that baby, then they would go on to have a healthy baby and they can class that baby as their one-child policy. Do you see what I mean? So that's how the orphanages within China are jam-packed with a lot of children that had the tiniest of defects. The children may have had a hair lip, or, you know, like Tom, he was born without eyes. There numerous reasons you can understand. Julie had got involved with an organisation called Me Fam Mama and ended up managing she rented a house just on the outskirts of Shanghai and started this group called the Shining Star. They were quite newly formed when I joined them, and we moved to China, and they had about 3 or 4 children within there. They had a little girl who couldn't see called An Fei. There was Hui Ming with a heart condition. There was Tom, who was known then as Tao Tao. Anyway, he was 8 years old, born without eyes. The most amazing character I've ever met in my life. Now, I joined the board with Julie and we had some good discussions and I helped where I could. I knew my strength, to be really honest, is hands-on with the children. I'm not very good behind the scenes, especially not when it comes to numbers and stuff like that, which my husband would probably totally agree with. Anyway, Tom has a habit of making people fall in love with him, and we fell in love with him, and he's amazing. And Julie was amazing. Julie and Steve never had any children of their own, and ended up adopting Tom, which is, not only did she help so many children, she would go off to these orphanages around the rural skirts of China and pick up these children that she'd heard of that might have a visual defect, bring them to Shining Star. They would then live there, get educated, and get all the medical help that they needed. And Julie did that. Julie went out and tirelessly raised money to be able to help these children. On a day-to-day basis. So I'm feeling life's really fucking unfair right now, because it's the good ones that go, isn't it? And yeah, she saved lives, she changed lives, and more than anything, she changed Tom's life. She adopted her, and her husband adopted him a couple of years ago, which Harry and I helped. We were doing the jobs. We were in England, back in the UK at that point, so we were travelling to the Chinese embassy to help them with their documentation for Tom. He then changed his name from Tao Tao to Tom. And we've remained really good friends ever since then. So yeah, she passed away yesterday, and this left a really bitter taste in my mouth, because I just think life's really unfair. And Tom, I'm trying to think of all the positives for him and what life now has to offer him because of Julie, because it has got so much more. That little boy was found in an orphanage at 4 years old, tied to a chair. And Julie took him in and then took him on. And he's 13 now and had the most loving, wonderful, amazing, more experiences than most of us. He has travelled the world and he speaks different languages, and that's all thanks to Julie. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty sad, and I'm sorry I've come on here and I'm having a real weepy moment. I wasn't meant to. I just wanted to talk about her and put it out there that she truly was an amazing person, somebody that I'm really blessed to have met in my life. And I'm Tom's fairy godmother, as he calls me. I'm a guardian. There were 5 of us not so long ago that went to his naming ceremony in Blackpool. So now I need to step up and do what's needed for him and help Steve and him along the way. It is early days. She only passed away yesterday very suddenly. She had a seizure. I don't know any other details, just that my heart's a little bit broken. And yeah, I just wanted to put it out there because I don't want to forget her or all the good that she did in this world, not just for Tom, but for all the other children that she's helped along the way. And yeah, heaven has gained an angel. We now have a big Julie hole in the world. A big Julie-shaped hole has been left, but there you go. So that's me documenting this, and my day's been pretty shit. Like I said, I'm sorry. I don't normally have a good old whinge and a moan on here, but I am emotional. I think thank you, lucky stars. And, you know, I think my message to you guys would be, hug your loved ones a little bit tighter, tell them that you love them, and yeah, don't regret anything in life. My regret is I didn't contact her this week like I thought I was going to. I got busy doing other stuff. And yeah, for Tom, a 13-year-old little man, to have to phone me and tell me that his mum's died last night was not a good phone call. So it puts life and things into perspective for me. And yeah, that's my message today. I'm really sorry, it's not a great one, but it's my story and it's my truth. So there you go. And if anybody watching this isn't following me on Instagram and you didn't know that this happened today, because I've already Instagrammed about it, but if you've blocked me, you wouldn't see that. So yeah, just, I don't know. If you don't like and subscribe, don't watch, I guess. That's my message also. You know who I'm on about. But anyway, take care, everybody. I'm really sorry it was a teary YouTube today. Speak soon.